Welcome to Moments and Mysteries, a calm storytelling documentary channel. In every video, we explore untold history, hidden truths, mysterious events, rare facts, forgotten civilizations, human stories, and the fascinating world around us.
Some stories, some moments may seem like simple coincidences, or the more you dig, the more they grow and the darker they become, and you begin to believe that such stories don't begin so simply, nor do they end that way. This story I'm about to tell is one of them. Everything began with an ordinary internet browsing session. But eventually, an old house forgotten in the memory of a city, strange silhouettes appearing in Google's yearly photographs, a dark event stretching across years of the fate of a man determined to uncover the truth, would become entangled with each other. The story begins with Korhan, a computer engineer living in Istanbul. Korhan spends his free time after work practicing amateur photography. He is interested in examining maps, satellite images, and old cities. He enjoys finding and comparing details that people miss or overlook. One evening, while wandering through old neighborhoods on Google Earth, he came across a detail that caught his attention. He was looking at yearly images of an abandoned house from the 1980s located outside the city. Just like other users, he was simply curious. But something in the 2009 image caught his eye. In the second floor window of the house, there was a silhouette. It one equal clear shape. It resembled a human shadow, but its head was slightly tilted, its height unusually tall, and its arms extended all the way down to the ground. His first thought was that it must be a distortion in the photo, a light reflection, or a lens defect. Very strange but not impossible, he said to himself. But he was curious, and moved to the next year. When he opened the 2010 image, he froze. This time, the silhouette running down the ground floor. It was standing still, the same misshapen lines, the same arms, but this time it was clearer. Korhan's heart sped up. Impossible. It's the same thing, he muttered to himself. He opened the next year, 2011, the silhouette room at the back of the house, .2012. This time it was in the middle of the yard, as if looking directly at the center of the house. Every year, every new Google Maps update, the silhouette was always there, but its location changed. For the first time, Korhan realized that this was far more than a random glitch, because the dates of the photos were all different. The angles of the shadows, the seasons, the weather, the time, everything changed, but the silhouette did not. No detail ever changed, only its location. Korhan became obsessed. He began researching the area where the house was located. In municipal records, the house appeared to have once belonged to the Kosagiller family. In a fire in 1993, Mother Ayla Kosagiller, Father Chevdi Kosagiller, their 7-year-old daughter, Duru Kosagiller, had all died, but one of the elders of the neighborhood told Korhan a darker detail. The cause of the fire is unknown, son. That girl. She wasn't inside the house that night. No one ever found her. A chill ran through Korhan's entire body. He thought that the silhouette appearing in each Google photo of the house might belong to that little girl who disappeared years ago. But this still didn't make sense. The silhouette didn't resemble a child. It resembled an adult, and not even a normal one. It was strange, a table recording the dates when Google captured each image. And he noticed the terrifying detail. Though the years appeared random, every single image with a silhouette had been taken on the exact same date, the 2nd of October, no matter the year, no matter the weather. Even though the dates when Google cars passed the area varied, the images of the house were always from the 2nd of October. Korhan now knew this was no coincidence. According to Google's own statements, the chance of the same location being captured on the same day across different years was nearly impossible. So either the house, or something inside it, was pulling the captures to itself. One evening, Korhan gathered his courage, got into his car, and decided to drive to the house. When he arrived in that quiet, abandoned part of Istanbul, night had fallen, and it was extremely dark. The house looked exactly like it did in the Google photos. The fences were rusted, the windows shattered, the door dislodged. But the most striking thing, when he stood right in front of the house, he heard a faint humming sound coming from inside. The air was so still that even the wind refused to blow. As soon as he stepped inside, the humming stopped. Korhan's heartbeat quickened. There was a strong, foul smell. The walls were blackened, pieces of the ceiling had fallen off, and the floors were covered in soot. But when he reached the stairs, 3 small children's shoes placed side by side as if someone had carefully arranged them. One belonged to a 5-year-old child, one to a 7-year-old, and one seemed to belong to an adult. Korhan couldn't breathe. At that moment, he heard footsteps from upstairs, soft, very sogged, as if someone was secretly walking barefoot. The stairs creaked under Korhan's weight. With each step, the air grew colder as he approached the attic level. When he reached the second floor, he found himself facing the window from the first Google Maps image. The wall beneath the window was covered with pitch-black burn marks. This must have been where the flames were strongest. Korhan took another step, and at that moment, the end of the hallway opened. No one came out, but it felt as if someone was inside. Korhan raised the light on his phone and froze. On the floor of the room was a drawing. It looked like it had been made by a child, but the drawing was not human, was not animal. A shadowy, tall, long-armed figure whose arms reached the ground. Next to it was a sentence. "I am here." It looked like a child's handwriting, and the date was visible on a layer of dried soot. Korhan's knees trembled. He took a deep breath, stepped back, and headed for the stairs. But then he heard someone whisper behind him, "Why did you come here?" The voice was neither a child's nor an adult's. It resembled neither. Korhan panicked and ran out of the house. As soon as he exited, his phone rang. Note Maps opened by itself. It showed the latest image of the house, and the silhouette was clearer than ever. This time not at the door, not in the window of the room, not in the yard. It was right next to Korhan, as if it were a preview of next year's image. The silhouette was standing exactly beside him, towel, head bent, arms dragging to the ground. And the silhouette was not alone. Next to it was another childlike figure. Korhan froze. This was no longer just the following of a message. Korhan continued researching. He learned that the 2nd of October 1993, the day the fire started, the day Daruko Sagara disappeared, the day Google captured every image, the day the silhouette changed position every year, and in 2 days it would be the 2nd of October again. Korhan knew he had to make a choice, and he thought he didn't want to do it, ignore everything, or he would return to the house and solve this mysterious case that no one had dared investigate for years. In that night, he made a decision. I will solve this. On the night of the 2nd of October at 2:11 a.m., Korhan stood in front of the mysterious house. Godbol's capture time. The time the fire began, the time the silhouette first appeared. Suddenly the humming returned, this time not from the house, for from beneath the ground. The earth trembled. The lights in the house, even those that no longer worked, flickered for a moment. Korhan stepped back in fear, and then, in the middle of the yard, a thin line of light slowly rose, a bare, glowing line. The line grew, formed, transformed, and became identical to the silhouette in the Google photo. Not a shadow, not a creature, an undefined threshold-like shape. When the light fully rose, Korhan saw its eyes for the first time, days as a swallowing time. The silhouette didn't speak, but a sentence echoed in his mind. Every image requires a witness, and now it's your turn. Neither his phone nor his card was ever found. There was no trace around the house. But 1 year later, when Google Earth updated, a new silhouette appeared in the yard. A tall, thin figure with its head slightly bowed. Beside it, a small childlike shadow, and in the background, the old silhouette appeared, watching from the window. This new figure reminded everyone of Korhan. Today, that house still appears on Google Maps with a new image taken every year on the 2nd of October. And with each image, the silhouette gets a little closer, a little clearer, a little more numerous. Some say the house holds the spirit of the girl who disappeared years ago. Some say it's just a photographic glitch, but only the house knows the truth, and the house likes to be remembered. And